Good evening and welcome to another stream. It's been a while since we've streamed, but here we are and we're getting ready to go. It is the 111th year of the anniversary of the sinking of the RMS Titanic. And we're going to start off here with honor and glory. So we're going to do some exploring of the ship here in honor and glory. We're going to try and play a little of the Roblox game SOS Titanic, and we will conclude the stream with Titanic Fall of a Legend. So that's what we've got in store for tonight. Looking forward to it. Later on this evening, I don't know what all the other enthusiast plans are, but Titanic Honor and Glory will be doing a live stream of a real-time sinking of the ship, and they have an all new updated animation of said experience. So that is what I will be tuning into after the stream is over for tonight. We're going to probably go for about an hour, hour and a half here tonight, and just explore the ship and in all her beauty here, and talk about the ship and the sinking, of course. If anybody's got questions about the ship or the sinking, I'll be happy to answer any questions as best I can. I always tell people that I am not an expert on the ship, but I do know more than the average bear. So we're starting out here on the port side. On the A deck promenade, we're heading forward. And I tell you, even when I'm not streaming, I will get on this game and just walk around and explore the ship because I'm just blown away by how much detail they got into the ship. Another thing to point out, also for me personally, is I am currently building another model of the Titanic. That is the Revell 1 to 400 version of the ship. I can't wait until we can actually go on the well deck. That's going to be so much fun. But yeah, I am currently working on another model of the Titanic. If you are familiar with the channel, you know already that I already built a 1 to 700 model of the ship. This one is there's a lot more involved in building the model of the ship than what was in the 1 to 700. Coincidentally, I am pretty much at the time we're streaming here, I am finished with the entire ship except for the funnels. I ordered some touch-up paint, not touch-up paint, model paint, and I am waiting on that paint to come in so I can finish painting the funnels and install them. After that, all I've got is the decals to put on, and that model will be complete. And after that, I'm going to, I've already began working on a model of the SS United States, and I will continue working on that model in the meantime. And you can look forward to videos of me building both of those ships later on at future dates on the channel. So that's what's going on with the channel right now. Also, I did put out a new travel video today. I recently went to the USS Alabama, aka the Mighty A, in Mobile, Alabama, and I toured the ship. It was actually my third time touring the ship. And I got a video of it this time, and it is now available on the channel as of today. I know Honor and Glory has said they're going to put a nighttime version or nighttime mode into this, but I don't think it's going to be here in a demo. I think it's going to be basically in like the full game release. Still no word yet on a sinking simulation. I'm sure it's something they want to do. I'm sure it's something they'll probably have planned at some point. Um, one can hope, because I would imagine if they do it, it's going to be without a doubt the most accurate representation of the sinking that we'll have. Let's go up to the boat deck here. And I'm actually trying to get the funnels as close to this color as possible. That's the touch. I keep saying touch-up paint. The model paint that I'm waiting on to come in. Be really nice if they gave us some music to listen to while we explore the ship. Again, maybe that's something we'll see in the final version. I like the fact that the steam is venting from the funnels, and the steam is heading aft like it were if the ship were actually in motion. But if you look at it, the ship's actually still, it's not moving. Jonathan, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Let's head a little forward here. So you can be checking out any other Titanic streams this evening. I know a lot of people are doing some live streaming tonight. Let's go ahead and go to. It's going great, man. Going great. Just give you a little info on what I'm going to be doing tonight. We're going to be exploring the ship a little bit, talking about the ship and the sinking here on Honor and Glory. Going to try and see if I can get the Roblox game to stream, SOS Titanic, and probably cap the night off with Titanic Fall of a Legend. So, are you a Titanic fan? I think it goes without saying that I am. Let's go take a look at the Marconi room. So I did a series of shorts this week, and well, once you are a fanatic, do you ever really stop being one? I mean, speaking from experience, of course, once I got interested into the ship, it ballooned from there. I've been a fan of it most of my life. It got me interested in other ships from the time. But yeah, I was saying I did some shorts that are available on the channel this week about different things concerning the ship. And one of them I did was about the wireless operators, Jack Phillips and Harold Bride, and how, in my opinion, they're heroes of the event and two of my personal favorite heroes of the event. Now, if you go to the channel and look at there's a playlist called Titanic and Other Ship-Related Content. You'll find anything and everything I've ever done about ships, not just the Titanic, in that playlist. So, in case that's something you may be interested in checking out. This watch straight up reminds me of the watch that's in Adventure Out of Time. No, one of these is Captain Smith's quarters. I want to say it's this one, but I am not 100% certain on that. Yeah, so all of this is blocked off. So their goal has always been to make 100% of the ship explorable, and I have no doubt that they are going to do that. All right, let's go back to first class. Let's go take a look at the bridge one more time. Really wish you could go up these ladders, get up on top of the boat deck. Yeah, the Titanic was the catalyst for me getting into other ships, and not just ocean liners, but all sorts of ships. I'm a big fan of battleships as well. Yeah, they really did outdo themselves with the level of detail that they put into this, and that's why I'm so excited to see what the final product is going to look like. Because, like you said, 100% of the ship is going to be explorable, and you can just explore it for hours and hours if you want. Let's go to first class. But yeah, just to name a few, some other ships I've studied a lot about: the Queen Mary, the SS United States, of course, Titanic's sister ships, the Olympic and the Britannic. I'm a big fan of battleships as well. I've got models of the USS Arizona, the Missouri. There is a new uh, video I put out today where I go to the USS Alabama and tour that ship. Tell you what else should have been a war crime was the Lusitania. That captain was lucky that he never, the captain of the U-boat, a U-20, was lucky that he was never caught and brought into justice. But I suppose maybe, I guess in a way, if you think about it, he probably suffered a worse fate. I mean, he was killed in action in a later event. But yeah, I've been of the opinion that as you know, it's, Titanic is a horrible, horrible tragedy. I mean, no one can ever dispute that. But what happened on the Lusitania was straight up murder. You know, I've always felt that way about it. This goes back down to the promenade. This is the engineers section of the boat deck right here, and after that is the second class section. I actually learned something new the other day that I did not know about the Queen Mary. That being supposedly or allegedly, Adolf Hitler put a $250,000 bounty on the Queen Mary during World War II, which was payable to any German U boat captain that could sink the Queen Mary. Of course, none of them ever could. She was just way too fast for any U boat to ever catch up to her. In fact, even the U-20, which is the one that sunk the Lusitania, got lucky because Lusitania made a last minute course change, and instead of steering away from the U boat, she actually was now steering right towards it, right at it in the direction of the ship. And that's how that ship, that U boat, was able to catch the Lusitania. Yep. If you love ship history and old ships like this, I'll throw a shout out to someone. The guy I learned this from, his name is Mike Brady, and he has a YouTube channel called Ocean Liner Designs, and he put out a little short on his channel this week that tells that story, which blew me away because again, I never knew that. Um, my knowledge of the Titanic and other ships is basic compared to what this guy knows. And he does all his own illustrations and drawings of the ships that he uses on his channel, the animations. His channel is first class all the way. From one fanatic to another, what is your opinion on all the switch theories going on? I hate the switch theory so much. I think it's completely and utterly garbage. It's ridiculous. It's not true. We have verifiable, tangible evidence. It's indisputable which ship is at the bottom of the ocean. I mean, it's been proven time and time again. I feel bad for the people who have been tricked into believing that nonsense. It truly annoys the absolute heck out of me. I mean, and aside from the evidence that we have, uh, think about this for a minute. So the whole thing is they say that the White Star Line was trying to cash in on an insurance policy. First off, the Titanic was not even insured for the full value of the ship. The Titanic was actually insured for about 75% of its value, and this has been proven. It's in writing, it's in records as well. Now, not only that, you'd have to have at least one or more people on the ship who are in on this scam because someone has to physically try to destroy the ship. So you're telling me that the guy, and Robert Hitchens was the name of the man who was who was actually physically steering the Titanic at the time of the collision. You're telling me that him or any other officer on board the ship would be willing to die so their company that they work for would cash in on an insurance policy on their ship. And these people are also not only willing to die themselves, but commit the murder of 1,500 other people. I mean, it's I can't I can't put into words how ridiculous it is. It makes me rage a bit. But yeah, I would definitely check out Ocean Liner Designs. He's absolutely incredible. I do not know him personally, so it's not like I'd be getting anything from him for sending you to his channel. I'm just a real big fan of his channel. I love his work. All right, let's go ahead and go to. We're going to do this the quick way. Let's go ahead and explore. We cannot do this without checking out the Grand Staircase, of course. So yeah, sorry that was a really long-winded answer to your question, but it really drives me nuts. Most definitely. So have you ever seen? I'd willing to bet money. Of course, you've seen the 1997 James Cameron film. Have you seen A Night to Remember from 1958? That movie plays out more like a documentary of the event than it does, you know, an old-fashioned Hollywood love story. Have you seen that movie? And if you have, out of the two, which one do you prefer? Right. Yeah, stuff like that will definitely cause me to give out a long-winded answer. That theory just drives me up the wall. Uh, and here we are. And I've been to the Titanic Museum in Pigeon Forge. Actually went for the first time back in February, and I've got a few pictures of me on the grand staircase, and they're kind of like my pride and joy. It's so cool to be able to walk up and the whole room. They've completely replicated the whole room here, and the wood is a bit darker than what we're seeing here in the game, but it's about as accurate as it can get, and it was so awesome to be able to walk in that. I find that Cameron's is the better movie, but A Night to Remember is more accurate, and that's fine. Um, I'm really on the fence about which one I prefer. Cameron's obviously it was a bigger budget. He could do more things, with the technology he had in 1997 as opposed to 1958. The love story is what it is. He did that, and I get his reasoning for it. He did it because he wanted people to have a human element to connect to with the disaster, and I totally understand that. And of course, his is more accurate as well. So really, they're kind of like, for me personally, they're just kind of 1A and 1B. I enjoy them both for what they are. And this room is absolutely stunning. And the lounge. Wow. This had to be breathtaking to see in person. I know that I believe there's a hotel somewhere in the UK where they actually have what they call the Olympic restaurant, and they have paneling from one of the rooms of the Olympic, and that's how the entire room is decorated. And it's like the actual same wood and paneling that was literally on the Olympic. I forget what hotel it is, but man, would I love to check that out. See, making Murdoch kill himself despite that never having any supporting evidence was a bit of a jerk move. I definitely agree. And from what I understand after the fact, James Cameron did issue an apology to Murdoch's descendants. But yeah, I agree. It should have never been done on the first place. There have been rumors that someone did commit suicide on the side of the ship that Murdoch was on, but no one that I'm aware of could ever confirm that it was an officer or a crew member or if it even was a suicide. It is one of the only things that really bugged me. I would have also liked had he added some scenes with the Carpathia and Captain Rostron, just because I am a huge fan of Captain Rostron. Um, I get why he chose to leave out the Californian stuff, Um, but it is what it is. I would have really loved to have some stuff about the Carpathia in there. And that was another short I did this week where I just did a little short about Captain Rostron and talking about him very briefly and his efforts during the disaster and what all he did. And talk about a man to admire and be inspired by. Read up on Sir Arthur Rostron and the a la carte restaurant. And if they knew then what we know now, how amazing would it have been had they never scrapped the Olympic and we could have that ship today as maybe like a sort of like what the Queen Mary is. She's a hotel and a tourist attraction. Imagine if we had the Olympic for that and we could still have a almost identical replica of the Titanic still in existence. Yeah, precisely. Carpathia's top speed was 14, 15 knots, and he got 17 out of her that night. And never mind, also, Titanic just didn't hit a lone iceberg. When daylight approached at the site of the sinking, the survivors, from what I understand, were shocked to see that they were completely surrounded by ice in all directions. So when you also include that into the fact that Rostron got extra 2 to 3 knots out of a ship that wasn't even meant to go that fast, and he sailed his ship through the middle of the night in the same conditions that caused the Titanic to sink in the first place. And he got there, and he he did it because he was trying to get to the Titanic before it actually sank. I mean, no one could know exactly when the ship was going down. And to the ship's credit, Thomas Andrews gave her, an hour, hour and a half, something like that. She lasted for 2 hours and 40 minutes. So, for the people who say, oh, she wasn't a very well built ship, that's nonsense. She lasted a lot longer than the guy who designed her said she would. But yeah, unfortunately, Rostron just couldn't get there in time. But he definitely gave it the most valiant effort he could give it. Because we're looking at the second class area. If there is a part of the ship that you want to see that I have not been to yet, feel free to let me know and we can go check that out. I want to get to Scotland Road. I don't think we can get here from second class. We probably have to start heading back forward. Scotland Road was always one of my favorite parts of the ship. All kind of stuff happens on Scotland Road in Titanic Adventure Out of Time. Yeah, that's a really great game about the Titanic that came out, I believe, in 1996, if memory serves. Here we're on B deck. Let's go back up to A deck. I think I'm gonna just stay inside the ship and head forward. And here's the dome for the aft grand staircase. Tell you what, the engineers did not have a very large promenade, but I guess a little promenade is better than none. Yep. Let's see. What would you say is your favorite part of the Titanic in general? So, um, there are four areas that I've always been particularly fond of. The Grand Staircase area, of course, being one. It's one of the most iconic things about the ship that there is. I would say the entirety of the boat deck, the A deck promenade, and the bridge. And I maybe a fifth because the wireless room is really, really moving up that list for me as well. So yeah, if you notice, those places I've named, we've already been to just because I love going and checking out those areas. Yeah, and the more I think about it, probably I'd probably put the Cafe Parisien up there too. The more and more I think about it, I keep adding areas. So, have you ever played Titanic Adventure Out of Time? And if so, did you enjoy that game? Okay, let's go down to E deck and hit Scotland Road. Okay. So a little summary on what that game was. Again, it came out, I believe, in either 1995 or 1996. And you play the role of a British secret, maybe not secret service agent, but a secret agent. And the game goes, it starts off, it's during World War II, and London is enduring uh, German bombings. The city is constantly getting attacked by German bombs, and you walk around in your apartment for a little bit, and uh, eventually an air raid siren comes on, and your apartment gets blown out of hell, I guess. And this is another cool area too. I love the purser's office, but anyway, you end up traveling back in time, hence the name Adventure Out of Time, to have a second chance at a mission that you had aboard the Titanic that you previously failed. And once you start back up in that role, and you have a chance to do that mission, and that's what the entirety of the game is. And I won't give anything away in case you ever want to play it, or if you want to go watch some gameplay of it on YouTube, because there are full gameplays on YouTube. But it changes the course of real life history if you successfully complete the mission. It was a really really fun game. It is available on Steam, but it's a bit choppy. The gameplay on there. There's another gaming platform like Steam called I think it's GOG or GOG. Their version is a little bit better because the problem is we're trying to play a game that was made for Windows 95 on you know Windows 10. So there are issues. And a fun fact about that game, and let's go down here right now. Let's see. That's C63, C67. That is why this cabin here, C73, is open on Honor and Glory, because that is your character's room in Titanic Adventure Out of Time. Now, it does look a little bit different in that game as far as the paneling and the light colored wood, but the layout is virtually identical. You got your bed over here in this corner. You got a couch. You've got this, where this is pretty much where your mission begins. You got the listen to this phonograph. You decrypt some German messages using that little machine right there. So it's a really, really fun game. I believe this is crew quarters right here. I'm almost positive it is. Let's see. Maids and valet salon. So yes, basically crew quarters. This is the aft grand staircase. Let's head back forward so we can get down to E deck. I think we'll hang out here in Honor and Glory for about another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll try and switch to one of the other games. Of course, E deck reception, made very popular in the movie. Sorry, getting a little lag here. Okay. All right, here we go. E deck. And let's see. Emergency door. This is Scotland Road. All right. And I don't know why, but I just really enjoy walking Scotland Road. Okay. Sorry about that. Had to answer a little text there. Anyway, here's the beginning of Scotland Road. Starts off in third class. Don't Yeah, we could go down a little bit. We're gonna go down and then we'll work our way back up and we're gonna go up to the crow's nest and take a good look at the view from out there. That's third class reception here. One of the watertight doors. I want to say Chef Baker and assistant chef. So this would have been Charles Yelkin's room. And he's portrayed in A Night to Remember and the Cameron movie, but more prominently in A Night to Remember. And this would have been his room. And during the sinking, imagine him walking out of his cabin here when he leaves his cabin for the final time. Most of the bow is submerged by that point. So he walks out his room, he walks this way, he turns to the left, and all he sees here is nothing but pitch black down the hall and half of it submerged with water that's just slowly rising. And that's got to be terrifying. So he would have headed aft from here because obviously there was no way to get forward. Now, I don't know if I'm exactly retracing his exact steps, but you get the idea. So it looks like he would have come this way. So I'm trying to find the first set of steps. And there we go. It's like, okay, we got to get out of here. The water's rising way too fast now. And here we are. It seems like he would have been able to get up to the second class stairs from E deck, but I could be wrong. But anyway, let's go to the main menu. We're going to take a look at the crow's nest before we switch to something else. Okay, and here that we're on C deck, go around this corner, and here's the ladder, up the forward mast, and up the crow's nest. Louise's Gaming Basics, wherever you are. I'm sorry, I don't understand your comment. I apologize. All right, so here we are at the crow's nest. And this is exactly where Fleet would have spotted the iceberg. Would have rang the bell here, called down to the bridge using the phone right here. Hey, what a beautiful view here of the ship. Right here from the crow's nest. And yep, there it is. They would have been looking here for the iceberg. And by the way, it's 7:46 my time where I'm located. In exactly 3 hours and 55 minutes, 111 years ago, is when the collision happens. All right. So let's go back down. And we'll take a look at the crew quarters a little bit. And then we're going to switch games. The crew had some very, very small space here. And this would be D deck. And here, down and down we go. Yep, going into the boiler rooms. And here we are. Made it to the boiler rooms. It's going to be amazing when we actually have sound to go with this. And we can keep going. Let's see how far back we can go. Now I'm kind of losing track on which boiler room I'm in. Okay, let's go ahead and make a switch. We're going to switch to the Roblox game, and if there are any issues, or if anyone can not hear me talk while I'm in that game, because I did set it up last night for the first time, be sure to let me know in the chat. So I am going to switch us out here.